Good evening. My name is Poonam Dongre. So I'll be the speaker for today's webinar. So there are still 10 more minutes to start the webinar. So we'll also have an audio check as well as a video check. Kindly let me know if you're unable to see the screen or if you're unable to hear my voice or if there is any disturbance in my voice. Kindly ping us in the chat window so that we can quickly rectify the error before starting the webinar. So the attendees are still joining. We have 5 more minutes to go. I request all the attendees to check whether the voice is audible as well as the screen is clearly visible. If there is any problem, kindly ping us in the chat window. You can send us a message. So we'll try to solve the problem immediately. So is everybody here able to hear my voice now? And can you see the screen? Great. Give me 2 more minutes as the attendees are still joining the webinar so that nobody misses the introduction part also. To all the attendees who are still joining, kindly check the audio as well as the video. If there is any problem, kindly let us know through the chat window. We still have 5 more minutes to go. Okay, so let's start with the webinar. Once again, good evening, friends. My name is Poonam Dongre. I'll be the speaker for today's webinar. I work as a content team lead in deAsra Foundation. So we'll start our presentation with introduction about deAsra. Let us see what deAsra is. So deAsra is not-for-profit organization and our aim is to offer end-to-end support to small businesses. deAsra Foundation was started by Dr. Anand Deshpande, Chairman, Founder and MD of Persistent Systems. deAsra Foundation is a family foundation and is raised from Dr. Anand Deshpande's own funds. So, yes, it is a family foundation. The name deAsra stands for, so let's have a quick look about the initials, the letters. DE stands for Deshpande, A stands for Anand, S stands for Sonali, that is his wife. R stands for Riya, and A stands for Arul. So these are two of them are his kids. So basically what we do at deAsra is we try to help entrepreneurs to start, manage and grow their businesses. We encourage entrepreneurship. We encourage entrepreneurs to start their business and help them in each stage in setting up queries, I'm extremely sorry. We encourage entrepreneurship. We encourage entrepreneurs to start their business and help them in each stage in setting up their business, in solving their queries regarding legal and licenses. We also help them wherever the funding is required. So we connect them through service providers. We prepare a bankable proposal. So we also help in funding area, and going forward, we help them to grow their business. At deAsra, our goal is to take forward entrepreneurship. So here the question comes, why? So friends, because if you see at the present scenario, job opportunities are very less. And if you have talent, knowledge, and appropriate experience, and you wish to or you dream to start your own business, then this is the right opportunity. This is really a best way to go forward. So saying so, when you start your own business, naturally, as per your need, in future, you might hire at least one or two, or say maybe 4 employees. And in a way, you tend to create employment for those individuals. So maybe in later phase, even they will become entrepreneurs and will hire more employees. So starting the business will also help a society, will help in creating jobs, and will be the best model to go ahead with. So as I said, deAsra Foundation is not for profit company. Our mission is to enable success of 25,000 businesses, small businesses by 2020. So in order to create 1 lakh jobs. Now, going forward, we will go for the today's topic, which is managing cash flow of your small business. So I just want to give few guidelines. At any point of time, if you have any queries, kindly let us know. If the voice is in between not audible, please ping us in the chat window. Also, you can put your questions in the chat window. We will try to answer the questions. So let's go to the topic, today's topic, which is cash flow, managing cash flow of your small businesses. So what do you think, friends? I mean, how the cash flow has to be managed? So there is certain business performance evaluation wherein there are 5 parameters. Those are the KPIs on which these 5 important parameters are used in assessing business. So we need to focus on these parameters, which are growth in sales. That is the first one. Second one is availability of cash. Third one is growth in profit. The next is compliance. And the last one is asset efficiency. So these are the very 5 important key performance indicators. So what do you think? Where is the cash flow management? From where this term is derived from? Why did people thought that there should be a cash flow management in the business? So the need came when the existing businessman thought that his cash flow cycle was not in place. So how will you identify the problems and the problem areas? So it can be identified through this business performance evaluation. So we are also going to send you a link, business performance link, at the end of the webinar, which has certain questions related to all the 5 KPIs. So you can examine yourself where your business is, where your business stands, and do you really have a cash flow problem into your business. So these 5 KPIs will help you to understand what is the status of your business. Each area, each KPI is correlated. For example, growth in sales, availability of cash. So if there is availability of cash, if there is growth in sales, then obviously there is growth in profit. To be a profit-making company, your company has to be compliant, and also the assets has to be properly managed. That is asset efficiency. So if compliance and asset efficiency are not managed properly, so in turn they may affect your day-to-day sales, your growth, the business growth, and also growth in profit. So to quickly sum up, the KPIs are the key areas where you understand the stage of your business, whether it is increasing or it is stagnant, or maybe it is slowly decreasing. So you can identify if there is any problem through these 5 KPIs. So today, assuming availability of cash as a problem, we are going to go further. So what we are going to see is how to identify this problem, whether you're really into a situation where you have a cash flow problem, what is cash flow management, what solutions you can have to improve it. We also will give you certain suggestions from our end on how to improve the cash flow, what services deAsra can offer to you as a problem solving area of availability of cash. So let's go ahead. So what is this? This is a phrase which says so much of month left at the end of money. So that means at the end of the month, you are having a cash flow problem. Why? Because certain payments, certain expenses are scheduled, and at the end of the month, if you're running out of cash, if you are unable to meet those expenses, then there is something wrong with the cash flow cycle. So this can be different variety of problems. I mean, there can be different problems as the businesses differ, the business activity differs, but they direct to cash flow problem. So let's see what is cash flow management. So cash flow management is keeping track of inflow and outflow of money and analyzing if any changes are there in it in order to meet the business requirements. So we need to see if the cash is coming in, that is the inflow, and how are the expenses met, that is the outflow. So through various sources, the cash gets generated, and there are various expenses where the cash is needed. For example, salaries, electricity bills. If you need to hire more employees, then the cost of hiring comes in. If suddenly there is rise in demand and you need to increase the manufacturing capacity, then again the expenses affect. Even the overheads may increase. So tracking and analyzing these changes is what is cash flow management. And cash inflow and cash outflow is meeting your cash requirement, your business requirements in time. So there are 3 points, you can say important points from where we can see, or the points which are involved in cash flow management. So after running the business for a couple of months, you yourself can scrutinize your business, you yourself can go through the business activities and jot down where the cash is needed. What is the requirement? What amount of cash is needed? So going forward, you will need money to meet the expenses. And this is analyzed by studying the past trend of your business. So sometimes it happens that there are certain unplanned expenses, but for these unplanned expenses also, you need to make a provision beforehand. So let's see what cash flow management involves. So it involves first knowing when, where, and how your cash needs will occur. So as I said, if it's an existing business, you just need to go through the past trends and you will get to know when, where, and how you need cash. Second, being prepared to meet these needs when they occur. So as you study your business, obviously you get to know when the needs arise. So in turn, you can be prepared to meet those needs in time. And the third one is knowing the best sources for meeting additional cash needs. So this comes when you think of growing your business, you think of going a step ahead, and this is the time when you need more cash. So for this, you need to study what are the best sources for meeting those cash needs. So let's go ahead. Now let us see what is need for cash flow management. So what do you think, friends? Why is there a need for cash flow management? I mean, many people don't even know if there is a need for cash flow management or not. So yes, there is need for cash flow management. First, for ensuring cash liquidity. So what does liquidity mean? Liquidity is, so I'm just stressing upon the word liquidity because it means in order to sell certain things, in order to purchase certain things, you need to have cash in your hand. So to meet the order, if you say, for example, if you get a big order, and to meet that order, you need to have a new manufacturing machine. So at that time, you need to have cash ready so that you can buy a machine so that you can meet a order which is in hand already. Here you cannot compromise on the older machine because this is the chance to create a credibility of your business in the market. So the actual cash in hand, the disposable money, is what liquidity means. So kindly ensure that you have liquid cash whenever it is required. Second is monitoring cash inflow and outflow. So what does monitoring means? Monitoring means understanding from where you're going to receive money and where you're going to make the payments or which payments are on priority. So you need to monitor the inflow and outflow of cash. You also need to check the receipts and the payments. So you can study past months cash flow cycle and accordingly prepare it for the next month. So you can compare with the budgets and the actuals also. And if any payments and receipts are scheduled, then monitoring those payments and receipts is what is required. The next one is managing limited cash resources effectively. So the cash resources are very limited when we start a business, when we are into a new business. So we need to ensure how to plan the business activities. If any, we need to prioritize the business activities. If we can delay certain payments or certain expenses for time being, we just need to think if we can reprioritize them, considering the limited cash resources which we are having. So this is again helpful. Next is planning for your timely debt repayment. So debt repayment, when I say that I'm going to receive certain amount on 30th of November, and I might also be having certain payments on the same date. So that is what is debt. So you need to plan for it accordingly. You need to pay to the supplier. You need to manage that cash as it may hamper your credibility, because the supplier is again an important person for you. If you're unable to make a payment to a supplier on time, he may not give goods on credit. If payment not made in time, it may again affect your credibility in the market, say among this group of suppliers. And also, if your EMIs, existing EMIs, are not paid in time, that is EMIs of your loan are not paid in time, then it may again affect your credit history. So you need to wisely plan about the cash flow cycle. Going forward, providing adequate funds for expansion. So expansion of business, that is to grow a business, adding additional services or products to a business is what is expansion. So here we need more funds. We have to do certain research in our field, in our business activity. We also need to add few employees if required. We need to buy certain assets. So this depends completely on the business type. So this is what expansion of business means. So to provide adequate funds for expansion is very necessary. And if you have planned for this in advance, then it gets easier to provide funds on correct or the right time. Next is planning for investing surplus cash which will generate revenue. So surplus cash, that is the cash which remains after meeting all the expenses. So what we need to do here is we need to reinvest it somewhere. So it can be reinvesting into your own business if you're thinking of expansion. If you're thinking of introducing more services, more products, yes. It can be also regarding buying additional assets, buying additional machinery if required. If you are having sizable orders in hand, then you can invest the cash, invest the funds, the surplus funds in the above stated things. You can also make an investment, say in mutual funds, so that the money keeps revolving. But make sure, friends, that whenever you need cash, you are ready to pull it out. So, these were the 6, you can say, important points where need for cash flow management is seen. Let's go ahead. So, cash flow problems are identified through 5 key questions. Now, let us see how one can identify a cash flow problem. So, give me a minute. I also see few of the attendees who are joining right still in to the webinar. I'll just quickly mention what I've completed till now. So I've completed deAsra's introduction, what deAsra do. I have also given what is business performance evaluation. So it includes 5 KPIs. I've explained the 5 KPIs, what they do. I've also explained what is cash flow management and what are the 3 important points which are involved in cash flow management. Going further, we have just discussed about the need for cash flow management. And now let us see that what are the 5 key questions from where you can identify that whether you are having a cash flow problem or not. So first one, are you receiving the payment from most of your customers within the time limit you have given to them? So what happens, friends, is many a times we are unable to understand whether there is a cash flow problem into our business or not. So when does this happen? When does this happens? You have planned for generating at least 5 to 10% profit in your business, and you are unable to achieve it, or else you are generating the profit, but then you are unable to identify the profit margin. So at the end of the year, when you see your accounting statements, that is your balance sheet and P&L, you understand that you have achieved the profit margin, but somewhere it is not, you can say, separated, or else during the year when you had a cash crunch, the reason behind it should have been identified. So even if you are meeting your profits and still having a cash crunch, then there might be a cash flow problem. So currently things might seem that they are working smoothly, but when you're unable to meet the cash needs at a particular period, then you can realize that there is a cash flow problem into your business. So how will you do this? I mean, existing entrepreneurs can study their balance sheets, P&Ls, can read their accounts. You can also compare the data of last year with the current year. You can take assistance from the people related to your field. You can assess your receipts and vouchers. So, certain 5 questions which will help you to identify the cash flow problem. So first one is, are you receiving the payment from most of your customers within the time limit you have given? So what happens is, many a times we give a credit period to our customers, but then they do not come back, or they do not pay the amount on that particular date. So this affects to our cash flow cycle. So we need to monitor whether the payments from customers are in the time limit which we have given to them. The next one is, are you able to pay most of your suppliers within the stipulated time? As I previously said, we need to make the payment to the suppliers on time, because if the suppliers are not served on time, they may not give us the goods on credit period. Third one is, are you able to make payment for most of your expenses in time? So, are you able to make your payments, as in, are your EMIs paid on time? Are the electricity bill, telephone bills paid on time? Are you able to pay your employees' salary on time? We need to examine this. So this is required. So again, the next question comes, has the EMI been paid on regular basis? Friends, you need to be very, very keen on this. You need to monitor whether your EMIs are paid on time, because this may directly affect your CIBIL score. So CIBIL score is the score which reflects your credit history. So if one fails to pay the EMI, the repayment of his loan, it is reflected in that CIBIL report. So one cannot afford to spoil his credit history by not paying or by skipping any of the EMI payment. Because this in long term can be really risky, as if you apply for a new loan, then and if your credit history is not that good, is not up to the mark, then again it's a question mark, and bank thinks before providing new funds to you. So is the CC account within the limit and the interest is paid on regular basis? So CC account or the OD account, cash credit account, that has to be in limit. It is always advisable to keep the CC account in limit, or else you end up in paying a larger interest to the bank. This again affects your credit history. So there is a small example which I'm going to share with you. This was the case which happened in deAsra. So if you can see here, there is a person. I'll tell you his name. We have just changed the names. Mr. Suraj Kumar is doing a business of bakery and running a cafe in Vagoli. So he had taken a loan of rupees 7 lakhs and another of rupees 5 lakhs from two different money lenders. So though his business made good sales every month, he was not making any profits. So he actually had good food items. He had a presentable view of his bakery. The customer footfall was very nice. People came to his shop. But later, all of his profits were getting disposed somewhere else and he was unable to locate it. So what happened is both the loans from the money lenders were at interest rate that were ranging from 18% to 24% annually. So that was really high. So seeing the growth in his business, he also needed more funds. So he came to the deAsra Foundation and took a mentor consultation for same because he was unable to locate where the profit was exactly going. So mentors studied his business activity, went through his business activity, and then gave him certain suggestions. So the interest and the part of the principal paid to the money lenders was eating majority of his profits. So this was located by the mentors. So he was suggested to approach to a bank to avail a fresh loan, which will not only help him expand his business, but also to repay the private loans in one go. This will automatically reduce the interest liability substantially. So accordingly, a fresh new project report was prepared and submitted to the bank, which sanctioned him a loan of rupees 18 lakhs at 14% rate of interest. So what happened here is, to conclude, the problem of his cash flow was identified. Loan by a nationalized or a bank was approved at much lower rate of interest. This in turn helped him to repay his existing loans, and an additional loan for expansion was also being sanctioned. So our mentors advised him and he did accordingly. At the end, he was happy because he was able to see the profits which were actually into business. So as you can see here, he is very happy with the new sanctioned loan amount. And the private lenders were unnecessarily eating the profit margin by charging him more rate of interest. So going further, now we'll see what is gap analysis. So why it is required? We can identify the gaps, the problem areas through gap analysis. We also have suggestions for improvement. And further, we also have supporting resources and tools. So at deAsra, we have certain resources and tools which will help you to improve the problems identified. So the first one we'll see low percentage of cash sales. So what are the suggestions? The improvement suggestions: reduce credit period to customers and improve the recovery mechanism. So what kind of recovery mechanism you have to apply? Send reminders, send messages to your customers. You can also use certain marketing techniques. Offer cash discount to customers. Cash discounts really help. For example, if a 100 rupees pen is sold for a cost of rupees 90, then a customer quickly is able to buy the pen. He thinks that right now, if I'm getting a cash discount, why not pay 90 rupees and get the product? Next is reduce exposure to those customers who regularly delay in paying. So we have to examine the customers. We have to keep a track of the customers who are regularly paying the amount, who are regularly not paying the amount in time, because this may affect our business. So to support these problems, we have certain tools. One is age-wise datas and sales register, wherein you can mark datas, for example, for 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, and so on. We also have age-wise creditors. Similarly, you can mark there also. We also have an inflow-outflow tracker, which is used to maintain the record of your inflow and outflow cash. Next one, unplanned capital expenditure. So there are two types of expenditures. One is capital expenditure and one is revenue expenditure. So capital expenditure is about your assets. For example, buying new machinery, buying new shop. And the revenue expenses are the day-to-day activity expenses, such as salary, repairs and maintenance, etc. So you need to see whether the capital expenditure is not unplanned. Plan for raising adequate funds to meet the capital expenditure. So if you say invest in an asset, and if it's unable to generate the planned uh, manufacturing products, then it cannot be beneficial for you. So plan for raising adequate funds to meet the capital expenditure. While planning, ensure funds are raised from profit, that is the profit which you have earned. Raising additional capital, long-term loans is required. So let us see what are the supporting tools. So to plan a capital expenditure, we have accounting services. This will maintain your P&L and balance sheets. We have inflow and outflow tracker, which will help you maintain your daily receipts and payments on regular basis. We also have a cash budget tracker. So let's go to the next problem. We have to ensure that this should not be taken from working capital. So once you identify these two problems, that is low percentage of cash sales and unplanned expenditure, you can take corrective actions against it. So going ahead, I am going to share one more case study with you. Again, the names are being changed. So here, Mr. Girish Sahane was running his business of mobile accessories and allied services for last 4 years in Kothrood. He had issues to keep a track of his personal and business income and expenditure. He used to mix them most of the times. So he was unable to bifurcate his personal as well as business expenditures, income as well as expenditures. So after he came to deAsra and after seeking mentors guidance from deAsra for his cash crunch and future business planning, he started using deAsra's inflow outflow tracker for last 10 months. The tool gave him the real picture of his financial health, that is of his business, and now he's able to handle the income and expenditure in much better way because he's able to segregate his personal as well as business expenses. So as I said, the inflow outflow tracker helps you manage the expenses, helps you maintain the record of your inflow and outflow of the cash. So just to conclude, he could track the item, he could track the item wise income as well as expenses, and now he's able to know his monthly cash position. The inflow outflow tracker gave him a real picture of his business. That is, whatever his expenses, whatever his payments were clearly shown in the inflow outflow tracker. And he didn't realize it, so he was unable to realize the expenses before using the inflow outflow tracker. So he also used the cash budget tracker, and he was able to analyze where the business exactly stands. Give me a minute. So friends, to sum it up, the 5 business key performance indicators: growth in sales, availability of cash, growth in profit, compliance, and asset efficiency, help us to understand whether we really have a cash flow problem or not. So we can study our cash flow cycle through these 5 key business performance indicators. So as I said, I'm going to send you a link, a business performance link. I request all the attendees to please click on the link and take the business performance evaluation. You will get a report wherein you will be able to see where exactly your business is right now, or what is the current position of your business. Is there any problem in any of the areas, say in sales, in profit, in availability of cash, compliance, and asset efficiency. So you get a report which indicates the problem area. I request all the attendees to kindly take the business performance evaluation test. So I'm displaying the link over here, the business performance evaluation link. We have already shared a link with you people. There is also a feedback link. I would request all the attendees to please take the feedback form, fill it up, and send it to us. So that if there are any improvements, any suggestions, we will try to incorporate the suggestions, and we will also try to understand what more is required. So as I said, to sum it up, business performance evaluation test, that is the exercise. I would request all the attendees to go through the test, which will highlight your sales, cash, compliance, profit, asset efficiency areas. You will also get a auto-generated report, and it will also identify your problem area. Also, fill in the feedback link so that if any improvement, any suggestions are there, we can surely take it ahead. So I guess everybody has taken the business performance evaluation link, is going for the business performance evaluation test. This is really helpful. We have prepared a tool of this, and through each areas, it will help you identify where the exact problem is. So this is the criteria for availing deAsra services. If you need an appointment, if you want to come here, talk to us. Your business idea should have been finalized. You should have adequate knowledge and experience in the proposed line of business activity, and you would have undergone any training for the same. So these are the deAsra services. I'll quickly explain you what services which we offer. Business planning, we help you to plan your business. We help in licenses and legal compliances, such as Shop Act renewals, FSSI. We help in professional services, such as trademark, patent, copyright. So we have service providers through which you can avail those services. Then there is a small business essential kit. We help in facilitation of loan. So in facilitation of loan, we prepare a project report. We study your business, we prepare a project report, which is a bankable project report. We help you and improve your business performance. We give support in marketing and designing services. We also have certain business tools and knowledge resources on our website, so which are easily downloadable, which are free. You can go through our website and see. And if yes, we also have a knowledge resource on our website. That is, we have manuals, checklists, through which you can gain knowledge. So in case if you need our assistance, connect with us. We would be really happy to help you. This is the number wherein you can call us. You can also log on to our website, that is www.deasra.in. You can mail us at team@deasra.co.in. I would also request all the attendees to go on our Facebook page, so that you will get updates, and if there are coming webinars, coming events, you will be updated on it. So thank you so much. Now we are going to have a Q&A session. So if there are any questions, kindly let me know. I'll try to answer all your queries. So I'm waiting. If there are any questions, kindly let us know. Put it in the chat window. Okay, so I have a question. Mr. Sandeep wants to start a business, that is food related business. And to start a business, he needs space, that is a rented shop maybe. He also needs to buy certain equipments, and he wants to know from where he can arrange capital for these things. So Sandeep, I would request here that initially, if you're, for example, if your business needs a 1 lakh amount of investment, it is always advisable to put your own funds, and then you can apply to the bank for loan so that you can start your business. But initially, you are the ones who have to invest into your business. You can also call deAsra. We will help you in preparing a project report for your business proposal, which will be a bankable project report. And you can just submit this to the bank, and I'm sure a certain loan amount which you're looking for, you will get the funds from relevant or the bank. Okay. So Sandeep, please call us. We are waiting for your call. The next question is, what is asset efficiency? Mr. Mangesh wants to know what is asset efficiency. Sure, sir. I will tell you what is asset efficiency. I'll give you a small example here so you'll understand what is asset efficiency. So, for example, if I am having a beauty parlor and I'm having around 4 to 5 chairs as well as 4 to 5 hair dryers, but then the footfall or the customers coming in are really less, and the assets which I've purchased are idle, are unutilized. Then we need to have look at the assets, because the assets remain unutilized and they keep on amounting to recurring cost. So this is what asset efficiency means. Assets also indicate human resources, that is our employees. We have to see whether our employees have enough work in hand, are working in the quality hours, the business hours which we say. We have to monitor their working, their activities, and we have to monitor the output of it. So this is what asset efficiency is. So there is one more question from Mr. Madhukar Hegde, and he wants to know whether he can get a cash inflow outflow tracker format. So you can call deAsra. You can quickly brief us what your business is, and surely we can send you the cash inflow outflow tracker. I would suggest you, we would be waiting for your call. It is really beneficial. As I told you, we have live cases through which they detected the cash flow problem. So Mr. Mangesh, you can call us on our number. I'll just display the number once again. Give me a minute. Okay. So these are our contact details. You can connect us and get the inflow outflow tracker. Are there any more questions? Kindly let me know. Okay. So there is again a question from Mr. Mangesh, and Mr. Mangesh has raised quite a big amount uh, in his business for his business, and he's unable to gain profits, or he's unable to identify where the profits are exactly going. So as I said, Mr. Mangesh, I also gave an example where the similar person was unable to recognize where the profits were exactly going, and he had called us regarding same. So we gave him a solution. What exactly happened into his business? We studied his business. I would request you to kindly call us. We can personally talk what the problem is, and we will try to give you the best solution to identify where exactly your profits are going. So we'll be waiting for your call. Kindly call us on the number. You can also mail us at team@deasra.co.in. Are there any more questions? Okay, so I don't see any more questions. Thank you so much for attending the webinar. I hope you have got the required information. I would really appreciate if you send us the feedback form so that we can make the changes accordingly. We can see what your suggestions are, and please feel free to call us on the number provided. Also, one more last time, I would request all the attendees to visit our website, that is www.deasra.in, wherein there is a knowledge resource. There are free downloadable checklist manuals which will help you to make changes into your business, which will help you understand your business more correctly. Thank you so much. Thank you.